Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, to the first ever episode of the DeGents Podcast, brought to you by Hot Shots Bar and Grill, located in Leominster, Mass. Also brought to you by Big Guns Power Washing, based out of Salem, New Hampshire. And last but not least, a new sponsor, Top Shelf Snacks. All the links to those three will be in the bio. Go check them out. They support us. We support them. That's how it works around here. Episode 1, boys. Super Bowl special. We're going to talk about that, obviously. 2 days away now. It's Friday. So I am your host, D. Fuski, here with my two co-hosts, starting off with Big Rich.
What's up, boys? How we doing? Welcome to the show.
And Petty.
What up, ladies and DeGents? How we doing?
Oh, yeah. Before we dive into the Super Bowl, we got so much stuff going on around the sports world. NBA trade deadline was yesterday. We will dive into that, all the big moves, craziness. We got waste management going on right now. Jason Day actually just dropped the shot for tie the lead at 5 under. We got Scoot Scheffler making a run. Come on now. They're still technically in round 1. Rich, you got anything for that?
Actively, no money on this golf event. I'll be looking for a live play on Sunday though. Super Bowl Sunday, waking up, you got some early golf. I'm gonna ride my guy. I'm gonna start drinking some beers, and we're gonna prep for Super Bowl. So I will have a live play ready to rock and roll on Sunday.
Hell yeah! What about you, Petty?
Right now I'm just sitting back and enjoying it. But like Rich said, on Sunday, maybe tomorrow, I have a play or two, toss in someone live.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like I said, they're still in round 1, so we might get a nice Monday wrap up after the Super Bowl hangover kicks in. Watch some golf and recover a little bit.
Yep, really just sitting back waiting for the hole in one on 16.
Yes, electric.
Oh, the hole in one on 16.
I might throw my drink.
Yeah, no.
Throw it at
clean up
TV.
after that, but yeah, might be throwing the drink as well. That shit that last year was wild. I hope it happens again, man. That was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Easily the best tournament in golf.
It's a mini major. Like it has a major feel, but it's not, and it's awesome.
It is what we go to stand for here at DeGents.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Oh, we got to make a trip out to Arizona one time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sit at 16.
This is our major. We have the 4 majors. This is what we live for. This tournament every year. So to combine it with Super Bowl Sunday, unbelievable. Like this is the weekend of the year for me. Besides March Madness is my thing. It's coming up soon. Stay tuned. We got some stuff for that. But Super Bowl Sunday mixed with some waste management out in Phoenix. Both events taking place in the same city. So to be out in Phoenix right now, I would love that. But let's get it rock and rolling.
All right. So we got that going on. That's going to roll on through the weekend. But let's get into some of these trades. Headlining, of course, are the two from the Nets to the West. Got Kyrie to the Mavs. Him and Markieff Morris go to Dallas. And the Nets get Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, second round, first round, and another second round. What are you guys thinking here? I mean, this is a splash move as big as you can get other than KD. It's wild. The NBA trade deadline might be as electric as the waste management 16th hole. It's insanity.
Yep, definitely a historic past couple of days for sure between Kyrie, KD, Westbrook, Russell, everything we'll get to. But I totally respect Brooklyn for doing what they did. I totally respect the Mavs for taking what they took. I mean, that's huge. You got a top 10 player in the league to combine with Luka, and that's trouble for the West. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I do have to mention, I think I love Mark Cuban, but the fact that he said they have the best ball handler in Luka and we're adding maybe the second best ball handler in Kyrie was a pretty wild statement in my opinion.
It was savage.
Yeah.
But
I love the move.
that's only gonna make Kyrie play better.
Oh yeah.
Mark Cuban is a smart man.
Hell yeah.
He is. He is definitely a smart man. Going back on that statement though. Luke, he was saying Luka was the best ball handler in the league, and then Kyrie was second. Depends on what you're talking about, which facet of the game. I think Luka, ball handling and a facilitation wise purpose, like passing the ball, getting the ball around everybody. In that sense of ball handling, then I would agree with him. But with Kyrie Irving, I mean, just dribbling the basketball itself, what he can do with the ball is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I got a few things to say about this trade though. Kyrie to the Mavs. I think now that there's been a few days and I've been able to kind of think about the situation and where he's going. With Kyrie going to Dallas, I like the fit. As a Boston sports fan, Kyrie sucks. That guy can go suck pond water for all I care. But I think Dallas kind of a smaller market, not like if he was going to LA, not really a big needle pusher for me. With him going to Dallas, I think it's a good fit with him and Luka. Christian Wood, big man down there, Powell, you got Hardaway, you got a few good pieces in Dallas. I think they're a good team, and adding Kyrie, as long as Kyrie keeps his mouth shut and plays basketball, I think they can make a push out in the West. So now with a few days of reflection, I think it was a pretty good deal for them. Dinwiddie is a good player going back to the Nets, back to where it all started. He has history there with the Nets organization. So I like the move on the Nets part of things. That leads into them trading KD over to the Phoenix. So, I mean, obviously that takes the Nets out of play, I think, in the East officially. They did get some good pieces. We'll get into that, but those are my thoughts on the Nets, Kyrie going over to the Mavericks.
I think what they got is potential. Nothing this year, but young stars.
Yeah, like I love me some Cam Johnson, former Tar Heel. That's my guy. Caleb Bridges. that one stings. That one stings. But yeah. I do like what they got in return. I think they got a solid return back. Draft picks, those two guys, solidified starters in the NBA. They're not going to win a championship, but the KD Kyrie thing wasn't working, so make a deal now and go from there.
So that moves us into KD to the Suns. Suns get KD and TJ Warren. The Nets get Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 unprotected first-round picks, plus a swap in 2028. They later used Jay Crowder to get a couple second-rounders back as well. KD, D-Book, Ayton. I mean, that's
Chris Paul.
Yeah, well, he's old, but whatever.
CP3.
CP3, he's still up there.
Oh yeah,
top 5 point guard in the NBA. Top 5. That's a tough ask, but
he's teetering. Yeah,
he's teetering, but I mean,
great guy overall.
Yeah, good facilitator.
Yeah, I mean that one's I think pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's KD, bro. Like, it's gonna be wild to watch. Down goes the mic.
That's another thing that makes Phoenix a whole new level this weekend.
Yeah, and I tweeted out on the DeGents Twitter. We could see a Maverick Suns matchup. KD and Kyrie going against each other. I mean, that would be electric. It turns the West into. I mean, it's wild. The East.
Yeah, I believe ESPN said if the playoffs were to start today, that's the matchup.
First round too.
Unreal.
I don't know. We'll see how things play out. It's going to be interesting.
I think that would be a tempered duel.
Yeah. All right. Next move, we got a 3-teamer between the Lakers, the T-Wolves, and the Jazz. The Jazz get Westbrook, Damian Jones, Juan Toscano Anderson. The Lakers 2027 first rounder. The T-Wolves get Mike Conley, Nikhil Alexander Walker, 2024 second round, 2025 second round, and the 2026 second round. And the Lakers get D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley.
So am I crazy to say that the Lakers fleeced everybody in this trade?
Absolutely.
You guys agree with me here?
Absolutely agree with you there.
Yeah.
So just going through the trade, the Lakers, they gave up a first round pick, Russell Westbrook, who clearly didn't work in that rotation. You know, they need shooting. He wasn't that. He's one of the most athletic players the NBA has ever seen, but to mix with LeBron and AD, oh, he's got the jersey up. But this didn't work. And with D'Angelo Russell coming in, he can shoot, facilitate. Jared Vanderbilt, I wouldn't say super young, but he's a younger guy in the league. Malik Beasley, rest in peace, Scottie Pippen Jr. But I think the Lakers just absolutely fleeced these guys. Mike Conley's kind of washed, moving over to the Timberwolves.
Good defender.
I think it's a good fit though with Anthony Edwards, Cat. I think Cat's injured right now though, right? When's he coming back?
He's close to coming back, I believe.
He's close to coming back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So looking at the standings here in the West, the Timberwolves are currently the 8th seed. Cat comes back. Conley, facilitating point guard, a little bit of 3-and-D from those guys. I think the trade helps them out as well. Absolutely. But as we talk about it here, I saw something the other day. I can't put my finger on it completely, but I saw that the Jazz have made, I think it's 15 first round picks from now to 2029 or something like that.
Yeah, they got a lot, I'm pretty sure, because the Donovan Mitchell deal.
Exactly. Rudy Gobert going to the Timberwolves before a season and everything. So the Jazz, give them.
And they have Markkanen.
And they have Laurie. Give them 8 to 10 years, and like they're a pretty solid team right now too.
Yeah, they were projected to be bottom half or bottom quarter.
Yeah,
I guess, and
they might just be tanking even more.
We'll see.
They could be. Yeah, they're only 3 games out of 4th place, so the West is wide open.
West is wide open. I don't know if there's been speculations that I've been reading. I don't really know why. That Westbrook might not even suit up for the Utah Jazz.
I saw that as well. I heard there might be a contract buyout situation. Jazz might buy out the contract. He might be moving on to another team. We will keep you all posted on where he goes, of course.
Unbelievable.
This has to be one of the more crazy NBA trade deadlines in recent memory, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can't. On the other hand, you can't see the Lake Show fleece to everybody.
I think immediately it helps the Lakers out the most. Immediately.
I just can't see with everything else. I think that can go good in the West with Kyrie, Luka, and then you got KD and the Suns. I just can't see them taking it away from LeBron's big year of him dropping the record-breaking bucket.
Yeah, I failed to mention that. I mean, everybody was the LeBron
like
fan.
Everybody's saying.
Yeah. All right, let's run through a couple of the other moves that happened. Those, I think, were the 3 biggest. Then we got the Knicks get Josh Hart. Trailblazers get Cam Reddish. A couple players that I definitely have never heard of and do not know how to pronounce their names. First rounder. Next, you got Jacob Poeltl from the Spurs to the Raptors. Spurs get a first rounder and 2 second rounders, and Kem Birch, another player that I'm not very familiar with.
I was hoping. Mind if I butt in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was really hoping that the Celtics could do something to get Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
Just added big man depth. You look at the Eastern Conference, and you got potential playoff suitors for the Celtics down the line. You have the 76ers. You got a big man, Joel Embiid. The Bucks, you got obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I've been watching the guy for years. Giannis Antetokounmpo, and just having another big man who can play a little defense off the bench in the rotation would have been massive. Muscala. We'll get into the Muscala
Yeah,
trade.
yeah. Well, no, we'll skip right
Um,
there. Celtics get Mike Muscala for Justin Jackson and 2 second-rounders. Me personally, I love the move.
I think it's a no-brainer move. It's not necessarily a move where you're like, okay, Celtics, they're going to win the championship now. I think they should be the favorites right now. They're best record in the NBA. But adding a big man, I think he's shooting 39% from three right now.
Yep.
Kind of fits their game a little bit. 3 and D. So I think Mike Muscala is a pretty good add for this the Celtics rotation.
Absolutely. At 6'11", he's going to be the big man on a small lineup. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was the move. Couple other ones. Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets. The Lakers get Devon Reed and 3 second-rounders. We mentioned earlier that Jay Crowder goes to the Bucks. The Nets get 2 second-rounders, and the Pacers get George Hill, Serge Ibaka, Jordan Nwora, and 3 second-rounders. Serge in Indiana is interesting for sure.
Indiana's a confusing team to me.
Very. I love Halliburton though. Love him.
That's what I'm saying. Tyrese Halliburton, stud. Like before the season, you'd think that they'd be. I mean, they are towards the latter half of the Eastern Conference, but they are a game and a half out of a play-in game. So, they're not many moves away from being a contender in the East, especially with Halliburton as their star focus there.
They're just a floater team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely a floater team. I mean, they're not going to make any big splashes, but I mean, they are. If they a player or two away with Tyrese Halliburton, a couple of rotation players away from being in the conversation.
Absolutely.
A couple other moves to run through here. Matthias Thybulle goes to the Blazers. The Hornets get 2 second-round picks, I believe. I might have wrote it down wrong. And a player that I'm not familiar with, Svi Machalik. I don't know. And Sixers get Jalen McDaniels. Another 4-way trade lands Gary Payton in the Bay. The Blazers get 5 second-round picks. The Pistons get James Wiseman, and the Hawks get Sadiq Bey.
5 second-round picks.
Yeah, I know. The second-round picks were flying yesterday. It was wild.
Flying. Since when has a second rounder ever been relevant? Like,
I mean 5 of them might be relevant, but
okay. So let's jog my memory here. Second round picks. Isaiah Thomas, last pick in the second round. I'll never forget that. Boston boy. I wish we could bring him back.
Electric. I got my jersey in the closet.
Was Draymond Green was a second round pick, correct?
Ooh, I don't know.
I believe he was a second round pick. But like, you're looking at players in the NBA now, like
I think he was a first round pick.
Draymond?
Was he not?
I'll tell you right now.
You're looking it up, Booski?
35th overall. So yeah, second round, early second
round pick. But like, other than that, like, how many guys in the NBA who are like starters or solid rotation players are second round picks?
Yeah, I couldn't name any.
Like just for example, I love Peyton Pritchard, Celtics guy, ride and die with that guy. He's awesome.
Love him.
PP, but he was a first round pick, and he's our 10th guy off the bench. You know, so second round picks are hard to come by. I don't know how they hold that much value. I don't know why the 76ers are looking forward to getting 5 second round picks. Maybe just trade pieces down the line, is adding a few here and there, but
yeah, make a move maybe.
Yeah.
One more for the Lakers. They swapped Pat Bev for Mo Bamba. They got to be going for it. I think.
They're going for it. They got a crazy amount of hope right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see LeBron missing the cut 2 years in a row.
Yeah, right.
Would that be the first time in his career? Has to be, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, has to be.
Has to be. I mean, the guy made 9 straight finals. So.
As far as my memory goes, I haven't seen it.
Now we get to the other LA team. They made a few moves. The Clippers, they get Bones Highland for two second rounders to the Nuggets. They also swapped Reggie Jackson for Mason Plumlee.
Love that.
And they got Eric Gordon and another 3 second rounders for John Wall. Luke Kennard goes to the Grizzlies. John Wall goes to the Rockets with Danny Green, and the Rockets get a pick swap with the Clippers. John Wall in Houston. I mean, that team is pretty much a dumpster fire right now, but love John Wall, love the comeback story. He was electric at Kentucky. So
Absolutely.
And lastly, last notable trade, I guess, is Suns get Darius Baisley and the Thunder get Dario Saric and a second round pick. How do you feel about that, Petty?
I mean, the Thunder love their draft picks. It's always too soon to tell. The other team wins in the meantime, but we'll get them.
Long term. Shout out Coach Degnall.
Shout out Coach Degnall out of Leominster.
Hell yeah. All right, that's about it for the NBA trade deadline. We'll see how that all plays out. A couple other moves, not moves, but it is a move, but it's in the NHL. The Rangers go out and get Tarasenko and a defenseman, Mikola. They're going for it all. I mean, they're a solid squad, but Tarasenko is a very good player.
Absolutely. I mean, when you struggle to be the best team in your state, you got to go for it all.
I figure we tie in the NHL just a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, the Rangers, after last season, you'd think like preseason they would be top of the Metro Division, or at least competing with the Hurricanes for that division. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong; they're playing very well. Currently have the 5th most points in the Eastern Conference. So I think it's a great move for the Rangers, bringing in Tarasenko, scoring the puck.
No chance against the big bad Bruins.
The big bad beast. Big bad beast, baby.
Hell yeah! All right,
I do like the move though.
Yeah,
it's a good move for them.
That's pretty much it. Other than Super Bowl, which we will dive into right now. Chiefs versus Eagles. We will start off with some narratives. Number one being the Kelsey Bowl. Jason Kelsey versus Travis Kelsey. Brother matchup. I'll let Rich go on this a little bit. But I do have to say the New Heights podcast it's awesome. Those two guys are so funny together. As a Pats fan, all three of us, we hate this matchup, but it is cool to see. Can't lie.
Hate to see him in it. I'm with CMC on this one.
And I'm not watching.
I hope they both lose.
If only they could, man. I'd be rooting for that outcome. But Kelsey Bowl, first time in history in the NFL that brothers will face off in the Super Bowl. Who comes out on top to be determined? We'll have our picks. We'll pick our sides, and we'll go from there. We'll get deeper into it. But I just got to ask you guys a question. When we were at the divisional round here, just looking at the narrative here with the Kelsey brothers and everything, why did I not throw the rent check on the Chiefs and the Eagles playing in the goddamn Super Bowl?
It's a script, bro.
They were preaching. They were handing it to us.
Legit. And they were handing it to us. And I'm looking back at it, I'm like, why did I not?
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with Eagles tickets.
Hindsight's 20/20, right? But like just looking back at it, it's like I remember talking to Petty a few weeks ago, or like we were thinking of different scripts. Where like Tom Brady's gonna make it to the Super Bowl, and we're gonna hand it off to Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence or something like that. We're thinking of that kind of narrative, but the one that was staring us right in the face was the Kelsey brothers, and the first time brothers will face off in the Super Bowl, and none of us thought, hey, let's sprinkle that matchup.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But I mean, despite this matchup, like these two teams being probably in my bottom tier of like teams in the NFL, just the whole centerpiece story of the Kelsey brothers facing off is intriguing enough where it's got my attention, and I'm sure it's got everyone else's attention as well.
Hell yeah. Speaking of narratives and scripts, it's the State Farm script, obviously. Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, State Farm ambassadors at State Farm Stadium. How did we miss that? I mean, come on.
Steal.
How did we miss that?
Signs. We missed the signs.
We
The
missed the
signs.
signs for sure.
The signs.
Andy Reid facing off against his old team. He is 3-0 against the Eagles since 2013. Most recently in 2021, they faced off. That was a high-scoring game. He's the fifth head coach to face his former team in the Super Bowl. The total record of the other four is 2-2. First was Weeb Eubank, coach of the Jets, beat his former team, the Colts, 16-7 in the third Super Bowl. Next is Dan Reeves, going up against the Broncos, coaching the Falcons. They lost 34-19 in Super Bowl 33. Next is John Gruden with the Bucks, beating the Raiders 48-21 in Super Bowl 37. And last but not least, my favorite one, Pete Carroll, going up against the Patriots in Super Bowl 49. We all know how that game ended. Oh, just
Love it.
had to throw that in there.
Malcolm Butler, baby.
And the blame's on Pete.
Of course it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know about you guys, but I think because this Eagles team is much different than it was in the past, it's just built solid in any facet of the game. I don't really pay too much attention to the previous record for Andy Reid, but you can't count him out, that's for sure. Which I know, hearing around that a lot of people are. I hear more people in the Eagles than I do the Chiefs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, like what Fuski, you were saying. I mean, I know Andy Reid is 3-0 against the Eagles since 2013, with the most recent meeting taking place last year, and a shootout, 42-30. Chiefs ended up winning that game. But I mean, just since that last game when they played in 2021, like the Eagles have changed so much. They've drastically changed. Sirianni's become a better coach. Hurts has become a better QB. Just all fact the defense is much better. From that point on, it's hard to take stock into those numbers when both teams have changed so drastically in just a year and a half. I know a lot of people like to go off of trends and make their picks off of trends, but I like to look in. I'm more of a recency bias guy, and I like to look in the recent stats and see how they're playing and stuff like that. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
They have played nothing short of excellent, the Eagles, all around.
Exactly.
Undeniable how good they are. But it's also Pat Mahomes. John Rahm just put one about 10 feet on 16.
Ooh.
Whew.
Johnny.
I
-5. I gotta check my DraftKings lineup.
He's making a run.
Making a run.
Still
at it.
early. This is still the first round, which is crazy. I mean, it's Friday, so normally it would be second round, but they delayed. So
I love this tournament, man. This is the best
time to
tournament.
go.
Absolutely.
287th out of 7.1K. I'm climbing, boys. I'm climbing.
I'm hoping they can fight back. Do you guys know if that will on Sunday? Will it, just because it delayed, will it all square up for Sunday final?
They'll play as much as they can, like as long as they can, and it's probably has to do with daylight. So like if it's getting too dark, they'll just pause. They'll pause it and they'll finish on Monday.
I'm hoping we have an answer before the bowl.
Correct.
They would finish around the start of the Super Bowl if they finished on Sunday, but I think they're too far behind right now. So.
Yeah, they are pretty far behind. A few guys still had 9 holes of their first round to complete today.
Yep.
Yeah. Second round tee times I saw earliest was 2 p.m. today, and it's 1:30 already. These guys still have 2 or 3 holes to play. So
Yeah, it is mountain time, so they're 2 hours behind. But
true.
I still don't. I don't see it happening. I hope so. I hope that imagine they roll. Like it finishes up at what the Super Bowl starts at what 6:30.
6:30, I believe, which
6:30
is realistically 7 o'clock by the time they get everything done.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right there. But I'm just trying to picture my Sunday here. We finish up this golf tournament and we roll right into Super Bowl. Like this might be one of the best Sundays of the year.
Easily.
It's only the second month of the year, 2023, but this Sunday is prepping to be one of the better days of the year.
Electric.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Absolutely electric factory.
All right.
But
before we get into the stats and matchups of the actual game itself, let's talk a little bit about the coin flip and the national anthem. Always fun on Super Bowl Sunday. I know we're giving out picks later, and there is something to be said about heads, the run it's been on. I will be on tails. How about you guys? Rich?
Some may call me the Nostradamus of betting the coin flip in Super Bowls. In my betting history, I am 2 for 2. I have gone heads back-to-back years. This year, I will be on tails. Never fail. Even money, plus 100. Bet whatever you want. They get whatever you want back. But I will be on tails. I've seen the run. Heads has hit 4 of the last 5 years. In history shows it goes on these trends, and I think this is the year it's going to flip the tails. And I'm ready to rock and roll. Petty, what do you got in the coin flip? You got any insight here?
I'm gonna be the odd one out here, guys. I'm gonna go with heads.
Ooh.
Yep.
You think the heads run continues?
Absolutely. Whenever I look for a coin, I look for the head side to be up. That's a good luck for me. I ain't going against it.
Whoever wins the coin toss, do you see either team deferring or taking? I could see the Eagles taking the ball. I feel like Sirianni wants to be aggressive a little bit here, but just a question.
I could see both of them taking the ball.
Yeah.
I can see the Eagles taking the ball more so than the Chiefs. I think the Eagles, they want to prove that they can come out and score right away. But I also, if the Chiefs win it, I think that they will defer, put their defense out there first, kind of test them a little bit. Be like, we trust our defense. Come and score on us. If you don't, we're going to come down. We're going to score on you. So that's my kind of thought process on it. I think if the Eagles win it, they'll take the ball. Chiefs win it, they will defer. That's my thought on
it. National anthem, Chris Stapleton, GOAT. I will be watching. I will not be betting on the national anthem length or anything like that. I believe the over/under line is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. I just want to hear his beautiful voice, not have any bias in it.
Yeah, just enjoy it while it lasts, no matter how long it is,
Chris Stapleton, man of the people. I'll be going with the public on this one, which I think is the over. I think I saw something on BR Betting, and they stated that Chris Stapleton made a 7-minute long rendition of Tennessee Whiskey, and there's just no need for that song to be that long. It's already as long as it is and slow as it is.
The banger though.
He can really do it, absolutely, but he can do anything here. So I think he's going to be with the people on this one. You can't really tell him he's slow. He was playing it too slow, so I think he's going to do it.
I'm going to be the odd one out here. I'm going under. I think Chris Stapleton, he's a man of the people. He wants to go out there. He wants to get this anthem in under 2 minutes and 5 seconds, get back in his seat, and start drinking beers with the boys.
Okay.
All right.
I like that idea.
Okay.
That is what I'm riding.
I'll be doing that too.
I haven't placed anything yet, but Chris Stapleton, he's going to get out there. He's going to do under 2 minutes and 5 seconds. He's going to hop back in his seat, and he's going to prep for one of the best Super Bowls of the last 10 years. This game, we'll get into it. I think this game is going to be unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get right into it. So Eagles Chiefs. Eagles are favored -1.5. I believe the money line is 125 the last time I checked. It flipped. Kansas City was favored, and very quickly it went the other way. Probably a lot of money coming in on the Eagles. The last time I checked, which was a few days ago, I could not find it today for some reason, but the public was 54% on the Chiefs money line to 46 for the Eagles, but the spread was 70% for the Eagles and 30 for the Chiefs. And over-under is split 51-49 to the over. We'll get into picks. I am going to point out a few stats that I like that will lead me into my picks. First, we all know how good the Eagles defense is. They are third in defensive takeaways to KC's 23rd in offensive turnovers. Vice versa, KC is 19th in defensive takeaways to the Eagles' 5th in offensive turnovers. I do, though, expect both teams to take care of the ball. I don't know what you guys think. Petty?
I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to make any crazy errors this game. I think he's going to play very conservative. He's going to play smart on that ankle. I think he's going to have he's had 3 weeks since the injury, so he probably got a little dinged up last week, but at the same token, he's just such a smart player. I think Jalen Hurts has a much higher chance of making those mistakes, even though they do turn it over less. I think we're going to see the strength in the opponent for the Eagles increase highly here, opposed to what they've been seeing. And I mean, they did just beat up on the 49ers, but with who?
No quarterback. Rich?
Yeah, we had CMC switching helmets. like, what are we doing here? Like, we'll get into that, but
yeah, and before we go any deeper in the stats, we should mention some of the injuries. Key injuries. Let me see here. We have, the Eagles, not the Eagles, the Chiefs wide receiver core is pretty banged up. They did activate CEH off the IR. I don't know how much he'll be involved or how healthy he really is. I believe Tony got taken off the injury report, but he might still be questionable. L'Jarius Sneed, third or fourth year corner. Big part of the Chiefs defense. I mean, they have some young guys. They would need him to shut down A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Juju, questionable. And obviously, McCole Hardman to the IR. I don't think Mahomes' ankle is really going to be anything to worry about. Granted, I mean, he could take a hit on it at any point to make it really bad. But I think the 2 weeks, considering how he played against the Bengals, I think he'll be fine with that. And as far as Eagles go, Lane Johnson, I mean, this dude's playing on what, one leg or half a pelvis or whatever he's got going on. He's still going to body everyone.
Absolutely.
Lane Johnson has a torn hip adductor, a fully torn hip adductor.
Yeah.
And he completely shut down the defensive player of the year in Nick Bosa 2 weeks ago in the championship game. So I'm not worried about Lane Johnson. That guy's a dog. I wish in my baseball playing careers I was on the same shit he was, so I was able to pitch too. But that's another point for another day. But yeah, Lane. I'm not worried about Lane Johnson at all. I'm not worried about that Eagles offensive line at all.
Nope, me either. All right, let's go a little deeper here. What do we think? Do you guys have any other stats team-wise that you want to rattle off before we get into like matchups and key players for each team?
My big spotlight for this game is Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco, he is an absolute unit. He runs like a bull. He's faced a lot of adversity his entire life. Back when he played at Rutgers, he lost his younger brother and older sister in a very short time span, and he has just done nothing but face adversity his whole life. I think there's nobody that wants to succeed more in this game than he does. Even though we have a lot bigger names in it, I think he's one to fall back and look at. Isaiah Pacheco is going to make a big statement.
I agree. I think Pacheco is going to play a big role in this game. One, because he just runs hard, and if there is a weakness of the Eagles' defense, it is the run game. But two, because I think the scheme that Bieniemy and Reed are going to draw up, I think the Chiefs have to run the ball to make this a game. The Eagles have been up on everyone. They play their ground and pound. They have the best offensive line in football. You have to give them a taste of their own medicine, in my opinion, if you want to make this game play out in your favor.
Yeah, I'm pretty I think Pacheco is one of my dynasty running backs. I drafted him like the second or third round, and I got history with that guy, and I hope he goes absolutely nuclear based on my picks in the game. So let's get that out there. I am somewhat concerned, maybe not in the rushing side of things. I know you guys probably have rushing props on them, like rushing yards or something, right?
I guess I'll just give it out. But I took on DK. It actually flipped from -110 to +110. I took alternate rush yards 50+ for Pacheco.
50+.
Love that.
Because his over/under, I think, is 47.5 now, and it's juiced to 130.
Yeah.
So I take the 50+ and get the plus money.
I do like that pick. I saw it yesterday at 48.5. So it's dropping.
Yep.
Huh. That's very interesting there. I don't know why that number is dropping like it is, but he's been an absolute animal in the playoffs so far. 22 attempts. I think it was like 120 something yards.
Yep. Averaging 16.5 in the playoffs a game.
Yeah. On the receiving side of things, last week he set a season high in targets and receptions. I think it might have been in fact due to the fact that Mahomes was banged up. A few more dump offs than probably usual on his end because he wasn't as good as scrambling in that game. But I think it's all lights green on Pacheco this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna go right back to the well with keeping Patrick Mahomes safe and just being able to use that dump off. Patrick Mahomes, if I remember correctly, he really only saved his good rush for the last play, and then he got an extra 15 tacked onto it thanks to a stupid play by the Bengals. But yeah, I mean, discipline loses you games, and that's why we're seeing the Chiefs in this one.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a stat for us here that is supporting this. KC offense 8th in yards per rush. Philly defense 24th allowed yards per rush. So you got to gash them if you can.
Yeah, and I think Pacheco this season, if I'm not incorrect, was at 4.9 or 5 even yards per rush, which is pretty solid, especially for a rookie. He runs hard, and he was a 7th round draft pick or 6th round draft pick. So, I mean, 5 yards per rush against what you just said. The Eagles were 24th. You said
24th
yards allowed per rush.
Allowed, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, give Pacheco the ball 10 to 12 times. I think he eclipses that number pretty easily.
Let him eat.
I think we can all get a sense of where we're leaning here, but that will come. Is it me, or do you guys have a feeling that there's going to be a big special teams play in this game?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love a kick return.
Pacheco
Exactly.
might take one to the crib.
It could be the opening kickoff. I don't know. It could be a punt. I don't know where it is, but I can see it happening for sure.
I saw the other day on Sleeper that I forget who said it, but it was just a Sleeper notification saying that the Chiefs have a lot planned for Kadarius Toney in this game as well, who returns punts and maybe mix him in on the kickoff. I'm sure they're going to get the ball to him on offense. That's a given as long as he stays in the game, because the guy has proven to have been pretty much a Band-Aid. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he has definitely been a Band-Aid, but when healthy, when he has a ball in his hands, he's a playmaker. So they work him into the offense. It kind of leads into one of my other points in this game is Super Bowls. most of the time are decided by which team makes the biggest play at the most opportune time. And I think obviously Mahomes is going to do his thing. Kelsey is going to get his. Hurts is going to do whatever he does. I think AJ Brown, in these playoffs, AJ Brown only has 7 catches for 50 yards or something like that. So I think he has to step up for the Eagles to have a chance. But back to my point here is, I think one of these more low key players is going to make, on the winning side, I think it's going to be, we'll get into that. I think it's going to be the Chiefs, but one of these more low key players has to make a big play, and very well could be Kadarius Toney, based off what you're saying. If the Chiefs have something planned for him, he could be in that role to make a serious big time play in the most opportune time, which could elevate the Chiefs to victory in this one.
MVS did it last week. We'll see what it's going to be this week.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, it was weird the way it was reported. It was literally just like Andy Reid says the Chiefs expect Toney to have a big game. So that to me was weird. It could be some type of smokescreen as well. We never know. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try and get him the ball, but they do have Travis Kelce. Not forget this. MVS, who balled out last week, and Pat Mahomes. So they're going to make plays either way.
In Lemonster's finest, Noah Gray.
I was just about to say I would be remiss not to mention our boy Noah Gray. Gotta sprinkle an anytime tud. Seeing him score a touchdown in the Super Bowl would be fucking awesome.
I saw him at plus 500 recently. So.
Bring it home, Noah. Bring a ring home.
I have him on DK anytime TD plus 950.
Plus 950. Damn,
I can't wait this morning.
I can't wait till DK's out in mass, man.
Hey, we got what, 3 weeks?
March 10th, baby.
Just about.
Just in time for the madness.
Yeah. Just about 3 weeks out. Legal online sports betting in Massachusetts. Cannot wait. Pacheco, big game. We talked about that. Toney, big game. Talked a little bit about that. I think he's healthy, but we'll see. Another interesting matchup I like. They're not going against each other, but these two centers, Jason Kelsey and Creed Humphrey, are the best two in the league, according to PFF. But I mean, I think you can see it when they play. They are animals. I think the better supporting cast is on the Eagles side, but having those guys up front is huge in this game, especially with how good the Eagles are on both sides of the ball. You got to protect Mahomes at least for a little bit. He's amazing at getting the ball away, but I mean, if he has no chance, we saw what happened to Brock Purdy. Can't have that.
Cannot have that. But two of the best offensive lines in the league going at it. This brings me into one of my next points here for a key player, the Chiefs. Chris Jones, 3 career sacks in 2 career games against the Eagles. Since week 9 of this year, Jones has averaged 1.2 sacks per game and 2.6 QB hits per game. For the Chiefs to find success defensively, Chris Jones has to continue playing the way that he is playing. I did see that last night he did receive a vote for Defensive Player of the Year. And I believe he's going to be lined up against Lane Johnson. So Lane Johnson neutralized Nick Bosa. I don't know. He might be fine against Chris Jones, but I think if Chris Jones and the Chiefs can bring that pressure, it's gonna make Jalen Hurts have a tough time. And also, the Chiefs, they ranked 8th in the NFL in rush yards allowed per game. So their rush defense is pretty steadfast. They're pretty solid, and that's obviously the strength of this Eagles offense. And if they can neutralize the run game and make Hurts throw the ball, I like the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah. We're getting to the picks. I think, like you just said, the Chiefs need to stop the run first. And then the next way the Eagles hurt you is on the deep ball. It hasn't been necessarily something to talk about in the playoffs because they haven't even had any competition really.
Mm-hmm.
But they love to run the ball. We know this, as any team would with that offensive line. But then A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith as a vertical threat is very hard to stop. So I think those are the two main focuses for the Chiefs defense. Everyone's on the Eagles, so that's what you got to do to stop them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I say let's hop into the picks.
Yes. Yeah, let's do it.
Hopping into the picks.
Let's hop right into it. We're talking. I feel like we're kind of beating around the bush here. We're talking.
Oh,
I feel like we've stated it already, basically. But
lead us off then, Rich. Lead us off.
Start
with the game first, then we'll get into the props and stuff like that.
Correct. I will be on Chiefs plus 1.5, minus 110 at DK. I like them to win the game outright, but if you're giving me a 1.5 in a game where I think it's going to be a one possession game, I'll take the 1.5 at minus 110. I got into this just recently. The Chiefs rank 8th in the NFL in rush yards allowed per game. They can neutralize Hurts in the run game. I believe Hurts will make a few mistakes. Let's get into some Hurts stats real quick.
Experience
is one thing. Mahomes has been there and done that. He's still only, 26, 27. He's only matured since that first Super Bowl win and since his last Super Bowl loss. I like Mahomes in the QB matchup. He just won the MVP last night as well. But I just want to state a quick fact here on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has QB'd the Eagles in 8 games this season when the game was decided by one possession or they lost outright. In those games, he has thrown for 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which is a 1-to-1 ratio. In the remaining 7 games that they won and they dominated in, he threw for 17 touchdowns and 1 interception. Talk about an absolute crazy dispersion of numbers.
They're front runners.
Absolute front runners. And
the
Eagles what was that, Petty?
I can't back them.
Can't back who? The Eagles?
Can't back the Eagles.
I know. I'm having a hard time. I was looking like I want to because I'm not a huge fan of the Chiefs, but I'm not a huge fan of the Eagles. I was looking for stuff to try to solidify my decision to go with the Eagles, but everything I was looking at was pointing towards the Chiefs. And
take the dog and run with it.
Take the dog and run with it. And it's
they got the sweetest path to the Super Bowl. The Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm calling for us.
I would like to mention though, I think not that this really matters in the Super Bowl, but on paper, they do have the better roster. I mean, they have studs all around. The Chiefs' defense is young. Trent McDuffie is a rookie. You're asking him to guard either A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith on the outside, and that is not an easy task. But Steve Spagnuolo has schemed it up incredibly well in the playoffs. Joe Burrow is not easy to stop. And even against the Jags, I mean, they got weapons out there too. So they got a young defense, but they've been playing really well. Petty, you're on the Chiefs?
In a city of lemons are blue, we're rooting red this week.
NG, baby.
No gray, soul factor. Otherwise, I honestly wouldn't be picking a team here. Hate the matchup as a Pats fan. Hate seeing both these teams in it. But at the same time, we have me and Fuski's high school quarterback playing tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, number 83, Noah Gray. You can't go against that, man. That's something you can't make up. So good luck.
Yeah. My pick is also the Chiefs, but I have a teaser, not the 1.5 or money line. I am on a Chiefs over teaser. Tease the Chiefs. I think it's 6.5 point teaser. Tease them down to 8 plus 8, and the over under to 43.5 or something like that. Depending on where you're at.
And I'm going to put that in right now.
Yes, sir. Eagles are averaging 34.5 points a game in the playoffs. Chiefs are averaging 25 points a game in the playoffs. And both offenses are very good in 3rd down, 4th down, and red zone. So I think the key moments, you're going to have a lot of 4th and 1, 4th and 2s. I think teams going for it at least once. And they convert more often than not. So that's why I like the over there. I would even take it straight if I had to, if you can't get a teaser. But yeah, that's my play there.
Absolutely love that teaser. Tossing it in as we speak.
Sure.
I'm not a huge fan of teasing totals. I like teasing sides. Just trying to work around those key numbers of 3.5 and 7, 3 and 7 and 10 and numbers like that. Key numbers. That's why I like to go around. Totals. It's tough for me because like, say you tease a total to under like that. As soon as points go on the board, like that can't change. Like that number is set in stone. Like if you take a teaser with a spread, one team scores, another team can very well score the next, and that only changes the spread number, you know. So
yeah,
totals. I do like the over tease. I think that's the way you should go if you do it, and so I'm agreeing with you guys on that end of things. I would like to just get into another number here that I found. Eagles, out of 17 games played during the regular season, only 6 have been against playoff teams. 4 of them against divisional opponents, in the Giants and the Cowboys. So out of the remaining 11 games against non-divisional teams, they only played 2 playoff caliber teams. So let's compare that with the Chiefs. Out of 17 games for the Chiefs, they played 8 games with only 2 being against a divisional opponent. If you take out the divisional games, over 50% of the remaining schedule were against playoff caliber teams. And I believe the Chiefs all year were tested. Eagles front runners all season. So when we get to this moment, Super Bowl, who's going to come out on top in those dog moments and those tough moments? I think the Chiefs, they've been tested all year long, and I believe that they're going to come out on top on this one.
I have to roll with Casey on that one.
Hell yeah. All right, let's dive into some props here. We talked about Pacheco, 50 plus 110 on DraftKings. He's averaging 60.5 yards a game in the playoffs. My next prop is also a running back. This line for Gainwell rush yards moved from, I believe, 16 or 17 all the way up to 19.5. But he's averaging 80 yards a game in 2 playoff games. Granted, the Eagles have been up, so they're just running the ball. But I still think this number is just way too low, and I love Gainwell over rush yards. I'll let you guys go. I got a few more, but bounce around here. Petty, what do you got?
I think I'm going to go right back to the well with what we were talking about earlier. Pacheco, I love his anytime touchdown at plus 110. I think that's just automatic, whether it comes in the first quarter, fourth quarter, right in between, who knows. But if you want to make a safe Pacheco play, I think it's for him to get in the end zone, and that's at plus 110.
Love that. Rich?
So earlier I touched on Jalen Hurts' touchdown to interception ratio in one possession games, the games that he lost. I like Jalen Hurts to throw a pick at plus 100 at DraftKings. I was able to get that on my book plus 115. So I got a little bit better odds. But I don't see this game getting out of control at all. I believe it's going to be a one-score game. And given the numbers that I have here, it's such a drastic difference. In 8 games, when the game was decided by one possession or the game the Eagles lost, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And then the remaining 7 games, which is less games, he's thrown for 12 more touchdowns and 4 less picks. I don't know. I feel like when the Eagles are tested, that's when Hurts will make his mistake, and he'll throw a pick. And that's my favorite prop of the day. I also
whether he feels him or not, he's gonna do it.
It's a good number. I would expect it to be a little more juice than that, to be honest.
So what do you think? What do you mean by that? You think that it would be more plus money, or you think it'd be minus money?
Minus, like not crazy, but like minus 110, minus 115. I wouldn't expect it to be plus money.
I think it's also just because of the matchups we've seen in the past few weeks. I think that's where we're really getting it from.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right,
that's definitely where the number's coming from, because they've just been dominating. They haven't been able to force the issue at all. He hasn't thrown any picks in the last couple of weeks, and this Chiefs team is going to test him, and they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit, and they're going to force Hurts to. I'm not taking anything away from Hurts. He's been absolutely fabulous all year. But let's see what he does at crunch time. See what he does when the lights are flashing.
Oh yeah.
I also have Jerick McKinnon over 2.5 receptions. That is juiced to -140. This season, he's averaged 4.2 targets a game, 3.29 receptions per game. Since week 12, he had eclipsed, which is 12. Since week 6, it's been 12 games. He has eclipsed 2.5 receptions 8 times. So that's hitting at a 75% clip. Against the Jags, he had 0 targets, and against the Bengals, he had 4 targets, 2 receptions. Last week, we saw Isaiah Pacheco have a season high in receptions and targets. And I think that was based off of Mahomes' injury here. And Pacheco, in the last few weeks, has taken over a little bit of the snap share. So I see kind of I think Mahomes is getting a little bit better. So I think the offense is going to shift back to a little bit more of McKinnon third down taking over. And Mahomes is still a little bit banged up, I believe. I don't think he's going to be 100%. So I do see them dumping the ball off, especially with the Eagles defense that led the league in sacks. A little bit of pressure. He's going to want to dump the ball off. And I like the McKinnon over 2.5 -140.
Yeah, so I actually beginning of the week was all over McKinnon to have a big game, and I looked this morning. I had McKinnon 2 tutties and McKinnon and Sanders TD parlay, and I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. So I switched it. I switched it from McKinnon. I do think McKinnon will play well, but I switched it from McKinnon 2 tutties to Pacheco 2 tutties. That is plus 850 on DK. And I also switched the TD parlay with Miles Sanders and Isaiah Pacheco. That is plus 400. And my last pick, sorry, not my last pick. Noah Gray, anytime tud plus 950. I'm all over that. But my last pick, I actually put in before the NFC Championship and AFC Championship games. Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes. I got it at plus 300. It's currently at plus 125 on DK. So hoping that will cash. That'll be nice. And that's it for picks from me. Rich, I know you got some touchdown scores in there.
Yeah, I got a few more. I have Jalen Hurts anytime tutty -115 at DK. If we're using that same 8-game sample size from earlier in one possession games or games that they lost, in those same 8 games, Hurts has 9 rushing touchdowns. And in the remaining 7 games where they've been front runners, he only has totaled 4 rushing touchdowns. So when the game is close, Hurts' legs are counted on heavily. It's kind of where I'm going with that is close game down the stretch. They need 4th and 1. They're gonna do their thing. They're unbelievable on those 4th down runs. Like I just really see it happening. I mean, I know it's not too crazy of a pick at -115, but I really think Hurts is getting in the end zone. And I also have Travis Kelce to get in the end zone -130 at DK. This Chiefs receiving core has been pretty banged up. They've been dealing with injuries. I just it's not crazy to think Kelce will be getting a ton of looks inside the red zone. So I like Kelce to get into the end zone at -130.
Patty?
If I had to go, since we're on the touchdown bets here, I think, it being the Kelce Bowl, I think we're falling towards the Kelce brother that can actually put some points on the board here and actually make a big, big difference in this game. Potentially a runner for MVP. I think he's going to make his bid, even though the media is hands and knees down for Mahomes. Kelce's going to make his case. I can definitely see him putting in 2. I'm looking at this crazy anytime tutty parlay here. We got Pacheco, Kelce, Jalen Hurts, which everybody's obviously all over. He's probably gonna screw us. Sleeper, Boston Scott. In the end zone, he ain't gonna find it. And the last one, fifth player, Kadarius Toney. That'll be my teamer. Don't have the odds on it. Haven't threw it in on DK. Haven't touched it in yet, but I'm looking at it now, and that's seeming spicy to me.
That's going to be juicy.
That's
We got
going to
the
be real juicy.
That's going to be juicy. I've hit a 5-player tutty before, and it was in a Chiefs game. It was a Chiefs Raiders.
The signs.
I had first 4 tutties were basically how I wrote it, and then it took a little bit longer. Overtime, Kelsey comes in, 5th touchdown, locks me in. $5 play to win like 500 something. Crazy. Sunday Night Football, can't go wrong. That's when the Chiefs and Raiders was good. Oh, it's over now.
No, I love that for the over. I can tell you that.
Yep, I do like the over. I'm not playing it yet, but I do like the over.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. If we like the over, we like all those points to be scored.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a funky. Before I get to the crossover one, I guess I'll get to the Jalen Hurts. I think, like we said earlier, they're going to be facing a lot of pressure with the Chiefs. I think Jalen Hurts. I don't know how well he does with yards, but I think he's going to have over 10.5 rushing attempts. We'll see what he does with those. We'll see how many he makes to the line and might not get called attempts, unfortunately.
They do a lot of design runs, though, so I think you'll get a handful of those.
They do. I'm just hoping, if at any level a quarterback gets dinged up, that kind of slows it down. I'm hoping it's hard to say, but I'm hoping they protect him enough to where he can be able to do that. But at the same time, we need him to face the pressure to get over this number. But I think that's a good spot for Jalen Hurts. And I do have a crossover bet. We have on DraftKings, we have crossovers comparing NBA, all the other sports to the Super Bowl itself. I think this is a sleeper that no one's quite seen yet. The Chiefs team total points in the Super Bowl. Will the Chiefs have more points than Pascal Siakam versus Detroit that night?
Ooh.
And I think it's a yes. I mean, if we're going with the over here, I think the Chiefs are about to put up about 27 to 34 points.
Maybe 30, yeah.
Pascal going to do that? I think I can bet no.
New team, too. Yeah.
I think I could say no. So
Lock
I'm gonna,
it.
Yeah, and that's plus 100. So
I like that.
I do like that a lot. I might have to drive up to New Hampshire, place that bet.
For sure, there's a lot.
For now. Next week, we're going to have the official betting.
Right now, today being Friday, us recording this a little bit early, it's hard to tell, who's going to do what, who's even going to be playing. But at the same time, I think that's one we can lock in right now and say that I feel pretty comfortable about it with the stance I take on the game.
Love it.
Yeah, things can change for sure, but I think we're close enough that we know pretty much who's in, who's out, and I don't expect any major news here. For me, that is all the official picks that I have. Other than tails, that's a little fun bet, as always.
I got a straight bet for anybody who wants to, keep it off the book, keep it cash. I got heads.
Okay, little friendly bet.
I'm down. Let's throw it. Let's do it. I got tails.
What are we thinking?
What do you want to do? A little 25 action?
That's what I was thinking.
All right, let's rip
We
it.
going
25.
2v1 here? I mean, I have
2v1?
tails.
You guys can split the 25 or each send me $12.50.
Yeah, let's do it. Virtual
Sure.
shake.
You guys will be screwed.
Give me tails, baby.
Yes, sir.
25 to
fails.
start tonight.
Go ahead.
I have 2 more picks left.
Oh yeah, run them, and then we'll get to some fun bets on Bovada.
Then we'll get to some fun
Yes.
Bovada.
Yeah. So yeah, let me get the serious bets out, and then we can have a little bit of fun, huh?
Hell yeah.
Super Bowl MVP. I got Travis Kelce at plus 1,200 at DK.
Ooh.
It's 1,200 at DK. It's 1,200 on my book. I really like that bet. Super Bowl MVP is usually a award handed out to the QB of the winning team. Out of the past 20 Super Bowls, a QB has won the award 12 times. So that equates to 60% of the time. I like the odds of Travis Kelce at plus 1,200 just based off 40% of the time a QB doesn't win. And he's probably one of the front runners if a QB doesn't win. And that value is undeniable, plus 1,200. A tight end has never won it. Someone has to do it at some point, and if any tight end in NFL history is going to do it, I think Kelce is a great candidate to do so.
Yeah, if any tight end, the second best ever behind Gronk, we all know.
I would have to
Gronk to go.
Gronk, but you can't do that when you're playing with Tom. So we'll see how it goes. I love Kelce in this one too, Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
he's a dog.
he's
I'm just poking fun.
Yeah, he's the brother that can actually put points on the board. Like I said, Jason can't run, so let's keep it in the Kelce Bowl tradition family, and try and get an MVP.
Go ahead, Rich.
I have a question for you guys. I need some help explaining this line. Super Bowl MVP. Mahomes is currently plus 120. Hurts is plus 125. Right? Kelsey's plus 1,200. AJ Brown's plus 1,800. Eagles are favored to win the game.
Leaning toward the Chiefs for the MVP, though.
They're leaning toward the Chiefs for MVP.
So they think
I was looking at it. That is where I'm leaning. That was like what solidified it for me. I liked all the numbers I was reading, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Whoa! Why is the QB for the Chiefs favored, and why is the next skill position for the Chiefs favored?"
Yep.
You
That's
know,
an eye-opener.
It's an eye opener.
Might be onto something.
It's an eye opener.
Go
Looking
Red.
at it, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna bet a Super Bowl MVP plus 120. I'm not taking Mahomes.
No.
So Kelce, it is. If Kelce, I'm thinking 8 catches, $115, 2 tutties. I think he gets it, and I think that's very much within his scope of work. So.
Yeah, I agree. One more thing before we have some fun with the Bovada Super Bowl specials. Can we find a way to get Jason Kelce in the end zone?
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, well,
would that not be fucking awesome?
it's tough because like he's not a tackle, so like you can't have like a tackle on the line as an eligible receiver.
I know.
So he's a center. So the only way is like a guy fumbles at the 1 and he runs it and he falls on the ball in the end zone, or like a Chiefs player intercepts the ball, runs out to the 2, fumbles backwards, and Kelce falls on it.
That would be amazing.
I would love that though. It might be worth if you guys want to split a little $10 bet on that or something.
I don't even think you can.
Jason Kelce again in the end. I don't even think you can.
You can't.
I'd be down to throw $5 on it just for the hell of it, though.
Oh, of course.
But it's it's such a saying sign that you're gonna go to him if you're not gonna have him at the center.
Yeah, exactly. If you move him out at all and report him eligible, if you even can do that as a center.
The only way is there is
a little Philly special remix.
Philly special remix.
All right. Well, that's all the serious bets and pretty much everything about the game.
One more.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
One more.
Let it rip.
This is kind of a fun bet too, but this is a pretty standard bet for Super Bowl. Gatorade color. I'm taking orange plus 300. I got a little bit of a backstory here.
Let's hear it.
So, a friend of a friend of a friend. Tampa Bay, Kansas City, down Tampa Bay, that Super Bowl. Through the grapevine here, I heard a little thing that if the Bucks win, it's going to be blue. The Chiefs win, it's going to be orange. So I took that into account. I like the Bucks in that one. I bet the Bucks big. The Bucks won. I bet the Gatorade being blue. Gatorade was blue.
Ooh.
I like the Chiefs to win this game. I'm taking orange plus 300. Bucket. Chiefs win. Gatorade's going to be orange.
Okay, little tidbit from Big Rich.
Love it.
I love it.
Let's go.
I love it. On that note, let's talk about some more fun bets. There is endless amount of things that you can bet on for the Super Bowl. These lines are from Bovada. I don't know if I can read through them all. There's a lot.
Pick five. Pick five.
Pick five. Okay. You said orange. It's plus 250 on here. Let's go to a TV commercial first. I know there's a good one on here. Actually, no. Pause. Then we'll go to a TV commercial. This is impossible, but fastest ball carrier. You can bet any player, whoever runs the fastest, according to probably what AWS, because Amazon is basically buying it. Well, Devonta Smith is the favorite at 5-1. Then Pacheco at the same odds. Sanders, Tony, Justin Watson, Sky Moore. Sky Moore, we didn't really talk about him at all.
Who's the favorite, did you say?
Devonta Smith.
Can't see it.
I can't either.
Can't see it.
I just don't see him in open space with the ball with that.
I can see.
I can see him catching a deep ball, but
yeah,
once he has the ball, I don't see him taking off like that. You know
what I like here? I doubt I'm gonna play it, but if we're having fun, I can see Jack McKinnon on a wheel route up the sideline, just dipping on everybody.
Ooh.
Plus 1,500 for him.
Plus 1,500. All right, Fuski. I like that because that's a reception for my overbet. So I like the way you're talking.
All right, next we got two heavy hitters in the Super Bowl commercial category. First TV advertisement matchup: Doritos versus M&Ms. Doritos minus 165, M&Ms plus 125. Who you got?
So what is the bet? Is it to which commercial is showed first?
Yep, between the two.
Between the two. I mean, I'm going with the heavy hitter Doritos. I got a bag of Doritos in the cabinet right now. I don't got M&Ms. Doritos are the heavy hitters. We're going juicy. We're going Doritos minus 165.
Betty?
I'm gonna have to go with the dog here.
Ooh.
Oh, we talking another side bet?
I'm gonna have to go with the candy covered chocolate.
Yes, sir.
And it's only because I think the Doritos comes a little bit closer to the halftime show, which will have a lot more viewers. I think the M&M's commercial comes. It might come in one of the first three sets. I don't think their commercials are that good. I think they're just gonna kind of breeze right.
Yo, the M&M Santa commercial is goated.
Not a big fan of the M&M commercials, but I have to go with the candy coated chocolate on this one. They'll come up first.
I think we got to run through M&M's top 5 commercials, and I think that'll change your mind, refresh your memory a little bit.
Oh, I've seen them.
M&M commercials are goated.
Big facts.
But I think Doritos minus 165 is a lay here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on Rich's side. I will lay
the
juice.
I will not lay the juice on a commercial. Will not.
Okay, let's scroll down the list here.
I'll only drink during them.
You gotta throw in the halftime show. I don't see over under for how many songs. Currently, it was up earlier, and first song was also up earlier. But the only halftime show bet I see is color of Rihanna's first outfit. Favorite being black minus 110, then to gold 6-1, silver or gray 6-1, white 6-1, and so on. I don't know.
She looks the best in black.
I see the favorite coming on top here.
I see the favorite.
It's predominant color as well. So if it's two colors, whichever there's more of, whichever they decide. I mean, this is something that you be careful. It's just not it's not a calculated bet.
Rihanna's her preview video she put on her Instagram. She's wearing all black with a gold scarf. I can't see her coming out in that. I have to say that she's going to change it up. I have to go. I think I'm gonna have to go with either the gold or the silver. I'm not gonna give any official word here, but I just but I at the same time I do think black is the best looking color. So it's a tough choice for me. Can't even imagine being in her shoes.
Rich, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not gonna lay -110 on a dress color. Like I'm gonna go gold. I'm gonna
What he
take
did
the
on a
dog.
bag of chips, 160.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a black dress in the cabinet. I got a bag of Doritos in the cabinet. All right, you know.
For me, it's a flyer. I'm going 7-1 green.
Whoa, a nice neutral color. Actually, it's not even, I wouldn't say it's a neutral color. Eagles are green. I'm thinking she stays away from either team color.
True.
Neutral's black.
I'm thinking like a bright green though. Like,
A bright green.
not an Eagles green. Bright
Not an
green.
Eagles green. Oh.
I think honestly, I'm gonna say it could be crazy here, but she's always been a big LeBron fan. With the week he's had, she could come out in some LA Laker gold.
Ooh.
Really could.
Hey, you can also get purple or pink at 8-1.
I like the purple, but I can't.
I like the purple. I like the purple.
You could come out in a
All
LeBron
right.
jersey. That could come off quick.
Let's do a couple more here, and then we'll wrap it up with way too early Super Bowl 58 predictions. We got to throw this one in here. How many TikTok videos will Jackson Mahomes post during the Super Bowl?
Oh,
Over under 1.5. Over is plus money, plus 135. Under
over? Over's
1.5.
plus money?
135.
How many will under? How many will he post?
Going under? Laying the juice?
I'm laying the juice under. Well, Patrick doesn't want any of the backlash anymore.
Antics. Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking just one. Thinking one. You know, I mean, he has to get his TikTok out there. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go crazy though. So
During the game,
going with one.
kick off the final whistle. Keep that
Kick
in mind.
between-
Post after it doesn't count.
Oh,
So between
post-
when the ball's kicked
To the final whistle.
to the final whistle.
I think 0. This is I'm going over. Rihanna's in the house.
Oh,
Rihanna's in the house. That
True.
could be a big moment for him. Might watch that. I don't trust me. I think he's gonna post one right in the beginning of the game from before the game, so that counts as one, and then he's gonna post one in the second half of something.
Or kickoff wouldn't count.
No, I know, but like the footage is from before kickoff. But I think he's gonna get the post in the first quarter when his brother's probably driving down the field. He's just putting it up on tick.
yeah. I feel we got to read the fine print on this bet. Like if the footage is from before the game,
Kick off the
is
final
that going
whistle.
to count? So the
Yeah.
footage has to have happened between.
Post.
No.
Only post it.
Yeah.
The time when he posts. Okay. I like the under.
I'm doing one more here, and it's more of a real bet, I guess. I'm gonna go on DraftKings to find the odds here because I believe they will have it. Will there be a safety in the game?
I'm going to have to go with no there. I don't think either of these teams are going to back each other up far enough to have that sort of issue. And it's hard to say because we have seen a safety in the Super Bowl before. Our beloved 12 threw one. I remember it. It was a safety because he threw it when he was he was still in the pocket. Illegal intentional grounding. We got a safety for that against the Giants that was the second time we played the Giants, I believe. Tough start to the game. It's hard to picture a safety getting a safety getting scored in the big game, I'm gonna have to say no.
Rich?
I'm gonna have to say no as well. I just think safeties happen more often than not when a team is pinned inside the 2-3 yard line. That happens more so when a team is punting from the fifth between like the 40 to their own 45. I see a lot of going forward on fourth down. I don't see a lot of punts inside the 5 yard line happening in this game. I think they're going to go for it. I think that both teams going to be aggressive. So I do not see a safety happening in this game.
I would have to agree. It is plus 1,000 for yes, but I don't see it happening as well. Like you said, Sirianni's aggressive on fourth down. How could you not be with Jalen Hurts at quarterback? And
Yeah.
I mean, same with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes will get it done if he has to. So.
Yep.
All right. Last.
We'll see what Tommy Townsend can do.
Yeah, he's a good punter. Good punter. Last but not least, for fun as well. Way too early. Super Bowl 58 matchup and winner.
Can we address? I do think Andy Reid's gonna be eating a cheeseburger before the end of the broadcast. I think that's about plus 600 on Bovada there. But I think he's gonna eat it. All coincides with him winning the game. They're gonna have a cheeseburger ready for him. Last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, he needed one. They didn't have it for him. They're gonna make it happen.
It'll be ready this time. Yeah,
They're gonna make it happen.
Cheeseburger parlay. I love it.
I think it's gonna be a McDouble too. It might be from the McDonald's.
You know what? I'm gonna get a goddamn cheeseburger on Sunday too, right at halftime.
Hell yeah.
Might as well. All the fixings.
Throw some bacon on it.
Oh, bacon cheeseburger, a little barbecue sauce, maybe some sautéed onions.
Doesn't get better than that.
That sounds pretty elite to me.
That sounds like lunch right now.
All right. I will start with you, Rich. Give me a Super Bowl 58 matchup and who wins it.
Oh, I think Joey Burrow and the Bengals are going to beat the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. The Bills are going to get there, and it's going to seem like it's their year at the end of the AFC Championship game. Joey Burrow is going to go into Buffalo again, beat them, go to the Super Bowl. The San Francisco 49ers from the NFC. We've been saying it for years. It's their time. I think they're going to get there. I think the Bengals beat the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan chokes it. And that is my pick for way too early Super Bowl for next year.
Ready?
Way too early.
It is.
Way too early. Way too early NFC matchup. I'm going to have to go with the Eagles getting back into the NFC Championship. And it kills me to say this.
Don't say it.
But I'm going to have to go with Dallas.
Oh, I knew he was going with Dallas.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to have to go with Dallas. I think they're going to be coming out flying next year. I don't know if they'll have the same head coach, but I do know they're going to be coming out flying. AT&T Stadium is a party. They're going to learn one year that they just have to sack up and do it. I think they're going to the Super Bowl next year, and they will get beat by the America's beloved Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow,
Bengals, baby.
Championship is always open when he is on the Bengals. The window is wide open. We're going to see him there again.
You know, I do not hate that. They have a lot of talent, similar to the star power of the Eagles. I could see Dallas in the NFC Championship, but I see them losing to the same team that knocked them out the past 2 years, including this season, the San Francisco 49ers. They will beat the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship, move on to the Super Bowl, and you know who will get? Chiefs, Bills, AFC Championship. Obviously, I'm chalking it up. Chiefs put down the Bills once more, and we get a Niners-Chiefs rematch, and the Niners win.
Love it. Love it. Bills are frauds. Bills are frauds.
Hell
Bills
yeah.
are frauds.
AFC East runs through New England still. We all know that.
We all know that.
All day.
Absolutely. They haven't won it for 3 years, but it still runs through New England.
All right, boys. Good shit. Good luck on your picks. To all of you, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Go check out our sponsors and all our social links in the bio. We'll be back soon. Try to get on a good schedule here. But that is it for the first episode of the DeGents Podcast. Thank you again. And good night.
You had hot shots tonight.
Yeah.
It's been real. Thank you for guys for listening and everything. So see you guys next time.
Signing off.